You know, all spiritualities are always pointing to what's actually happening, to this. I know that you most probably think, talk Lisa, talk, we're here to learn non-duality. But it's really not about learning, it's really not about getting something. Learning is something that comes and goes. Learning is something you have and then you lose, you understand and then you don't understand it. And so that can't be it. There's a presence here that's here no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how much you understand something, no matter what you have, whether you're strong, weak, tall, young, old, there is this boundless presence that knows itself. And this presence on the expression of everything is love, and on the nothing side is knowing. It knows itself. I know that sounds really odd, but just carry on listening and you'll get used to my language. In its manifestation, it's love. And in its non-manifestation, it's a knowing. It knows. In these words, we think that we're somebody inside this body, behind these eyes, looking at Lisa and understanding Lisa, and we know what she's talking about, but all of that's appearing in the dream. That's not the actual experiencer of the dream. The person that thinks, oh, I understand what she's saying, is something that appears in the dream and will come and go. So one moment you'll think, oh, I understand what she's saying, and then you'll think, I don't understand what she's saying. But all of that's being registered instantaneously. There's a knowing of things that's instantaneous, without any thought, without any ideas. And the baby registers, the dog registers. These instruments are designed to look at this world. And then there's also this essence, this amness that comes forward, this sense of being, and that's who you are. We think that the looking and the being is inside the body, but actually the body is appearing inside the looking and the being. And yeah. And what's being talked about here is an energetic movement back to that. And it normally means the improvement of the human being, the improvement of the human life, but that's not ultimately it. That's not what this is about. It's not about you having a better life. It's about you no longer being the experiencer. You is an appearance that comes and goes. And the experiencer is everything and nothing. The experiencer is still always here, always present, and then the life of the person and the world appear in and out of this, just like a film appearing on the screen. The screen is always present, so the knowing and the essence is always present, but the film comes and goes, and life is like that. Your life is like that. What's actually known always is this presence, is what's happening. And then there's images of past and future. They're not actuality. So there's an image of you coming into this room and sitting down. There's an image of you that you'll eventually get up. And you have this image and it keeps replaying, this image of you sitting inside this body, and you get up and you move. You have an image of this body as if it's controlling in here and what it's done. And what love this is. And this isn't really about understanding what I say. Fuck that. Just let it resonate. Let it resonate. You aren't the looker now. I'm not talking to you. You is a dream appearing in this. So who's being talked to? Who hears? Who looks? Who sees? Who feels? Where do the thoughts come from? Where do the choices come from? Well, they come from me. That's not true. They come from this present moment. That's all there ever is this present moment. I love this subject. It's so exciting. And don't listen to these talks. Don't listen to what I say as something for you to get to. It's not about you. You's an appearance. It's beyond that. And I can work on the you, because when there is the identification with that you begins to build up really bizarre dynamics and ideas. And I can work on that, and the person can see its illusions, and it can help relax the person. But the shift isn't about you. The shift is that which always is, no matter how fucked up you are, or how calm, or how nice you are. It's always there, looking silently, experiencing this. It's so empty. And on the human personal level, all that needs to happen is an exploration of non-duality and being honest. And I'll explain more about what being honest is. But being honest, I don't mean not telling a lie. Sometimes we have to tell lies. It's part of human nature. You can't tell someone that their new dress makes their butt look terrible or something. Like, there's appropriate things to say sometimes. I don't mean that. I mean an honesty with what's actually happening in this human body. So keep going deeper, because often what we're telling ourselves about what's happening isn't what's happening. So you're saying, oh yes, I feel great, this is so great. And there's always that possibility to be more and more honest. And the reason that I recommend that is because then the person becomes less complicated. It goes into less stories about itself. And it's not that then the person will get this, but then there's more of a chance of this being heard, because there's not so much clutter of this identity. But then even that, forget that I'm giving you a promise about something. Just do it. Just explore what it is to be this human and listen to non-duality. It's kind of crazy that we live our whole lives, or most people live their lives not exploring what it is to be alive. Not exploring the sensations, the feelings, the ideas. And this isn't about a destination of becoming a perfect person. Don't get that into your head that you've got to become perfect. Just knowing yourself is a huge thing, because normally a lot of what we're doing is acting out all this unconscious stuff that we don't know about ourselves. We feel afraid, so therefore we're trying to get somebody to stop us feeling afraid. We feel unloved, so therefore we're trying to be loved. But all we're conscious of as a person is what we're trying to get. We're not even conscious of what we're trying to get. It's just happening. It's like the mouth is, bah, 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 love me, hate me, hate me. It could be hate me, could be. And it gets bizarre, the human game. And the more honest you become, the less the illusion will play in all these daydreams of what you need to be, what you have to be, what you want to be. And it's not about not being human. It's also really important to have all these emotions of being human. Like, it's important that the human stays a human and doesn't try to become the no-thingness, doesn't try to become empty. The human isn't empty. That which experiences the human is empty. So it's important. I meet so many people that are trying not to be human, and they try not to feel things, but feeling is important. That's part of the human expression. So it's important to feel guilt if you run over somebody's cat. Otherwise you just drive off and be like, fuck the cat. It's important that you feel a sense of guilt and you feel responsible, and you go and say to the person, look, I ran over your cat. Or if the cat's half dead, you take it to the vet. These are important human qualities. We often cut off from our feelings, and that's when we do really shitty things as human. I'm not saying that as humans we won't always be self-centered, we will, but we do shitty things like what Hitler did, or what we do to our lovers out of identification, out of being cut off from our feelings. Humans aren't this nasty creature that's really bad deep down. They're self-centered, yes. They want pleasure, yes, but they're not like these really nasty, cute creatures that want to eradicate all the Jewish population like Hitler, or we want to make people feel bad because we feel jealous or whatever it is. That's all identity stuff. But the human is always going to be self-centered. It's always going to want the biggest piece of cake. It knows it has to share in order to get on. But it's like, when it comes to food, when it comes to sex maybe, or whatever it is, I want the biggest piece. The best piece. I don't know, whatever. Just being silly. thinking of examples. And don't take what I say too seriously. You know, sometimes I'm being sarcastic, and American people, I know there's a lot of American people that listen, they don't get sarcasm. So don't take what I say too seriously. Open up to the idea that I might be joking and being sarcastic. I get excited speaking about this.